Hello, I'm drinking La Vermontoise, the collaboration beer between Blaugies and Hill Farmstead. They've been making this for now like 10 years, and I've had it, a few times over the years. I have a review of the first batch, I think, back when I used to do long rambling reviews with weird ratings. Hasn't changed much. So the deal with this is that it's brewed by Blaugies, a small brewery that specializes in saisons, clean saisons, not funky sour barrel aged saisons, and made in Belgium. And Hill Farmstead kind of just went there and said, "Why don't you use a bunch of Amarillo hops, an American, very fruity, intense hop for Belgian brewers." And the saison's brewed with spelt. So I think Blaugies makes a spelt saison. So I don't know if this one's just kind of that with Amarillo hops. They don't say if they dry hop it. I don't know. This is 6%, and I already had a bottle from this batch, and it seemed pretty fresh. But you don't see this. I feel like you don't see this super often around, and I don't know how far it gets around the country and such. So let's check it out. Extremely carbonated, that's what I love about these Belgian ones. And the cork doesn't really tell you anything. There is some sediment, not a huge amount, and it's a green bottle. So one way that you can know if it's old, or maybe if it's just mishandled and it spent a lot of time in the sun, is if it's skunky. I like a little bit of skunk. A lot of Saison lovers and Saison brewers say that a little bit of a light struck character is the other term for skunk, skunkiness, excuse me, can be a nice thing. And I'm smelling a little bit of that. I find that it kind of blows it off often with the extreme carbonation and the popping of that cork. Like you get a little bit of skunk, but then it kind of goes away. And super duper carbonated, bubbles coming up real fast. It's a little hot and humid, so you can't really see it, but it's not hazy. That's just condensation. But yeah, I love the intense carb that you can only get with like these thick bottles, or it's only really safe with these thick bottles and the intense cork and cage. And that head is gonna stick around forever. Got pretty wispy. Yeah, I feel like the skunkiness is there, but it's not overwhelming the other aromas. It is definitely got this sort of rustic hay, pear, classic Saison quality that I like a lot. That most American brewers can't really get. Most American brewers it's almost more like Hefeweizen, or like wit beer almost. It's like you get bubblegum and clove. That's not in this one. It's more just a pepper pear type thing. And then the Amarillo is definitely throwing some more like orangey notes in there. Slight musky sulfury note. And now the skunk is like seemingly gone almost. And it just kind of explodes in your mouth like a expanding prickly marshmallow. Dry, but there's some body and sweetness to it. And just this like orange and pears, juicy orange and juicy pear too. Just expands in your mouth and touches your tongue, and all the little, what do you call them? All the ridges, all the taste buds on your tongue just make the beer kind of expand. The carbonation, yeah, and it's really great, really refreshing. I love beers like this. I wish more brewers in America would do this instead of focusing on the barrel-aged sour stuff. But in general, yeah, the Belgian style clean saisons aren't as popular, which is sad, because this is one of my favorite kind of beers ever. I used to think that I really wanted the Brett component, some kind of wild, funky component, but you can just nail a saison like this with the right carbonation and everything, right yeast expression. I'm all about it. I guess Amory's Tomb, I love them. They do that. They do a lot of clean saisons, but also some wild barrel aged things too. But I haven't come across many American brewers who can make a beer that's this carbonated and it's like on purpose. It's not just like a beer that got overcarbed or a beer that's really old and the Brett went crazy and it like gushes. Like, oh, this popped really hard but did not gush at all. Even the other bottle I had, it wasn't sitting in my fridge safely. It was only in my fridge for a couple hours and still didn't gush at all. Like, it's kind of a magic to know how to do this. Now the finish is pretty dry and peppery, but not clove. Just like fresh cracked pepper. Yeah, it really dries out the sort of sweet, fruity taste. There's a little bit of the pear in the finish. And despite the super high carb, it's still kind of a soft feel. It's not prickly. I'm not sure what the spelt is adding. Spelt is kind of like related to wheat, helping to maybe add some body to it. But this is not sour or funky. They're just some, the yeast is just, I'm sure they let this open ferment so the yeast can raise the temperature and just get the beer really, really inundated with the yeast esters and phenols, but there's specific ones that it seems like you can't just buy a commercial Saison yeast strain, brew with it in normal American manners and get a beer like this. Oh, excuse me. If you're completely averse to any kind of skunk quality, maybe don't get this one, or only if you know it's super fresh, but this one, the skunk's there, has totally left, and I don't mind a little bit. I think it actually is a little nice. This is great. This is close to a 5 beer. I can't see how you can make a clean Saison better for me. It's hoppy. It's got all the yeast. It's got the carbonation. It's got this soft, fluffy, yet not like lifeless, totally dry feel like a lot of American Saisons. I'm just going to keep shitting on American Saisons. At least like the ones where you get it and it's in a can or a bottle and it's not naturally carbonated and it's just like, how is this a Saison? Like when you compare it with something like this. And the Amarillo just kind of makes it suit my tastes more, gives it a little bit more of a oomph. The hop, like a bitter hoppy note, like maybe it's a little bit more bitter, but real Saisons should be pretty hoppy and bitter. I think it just adds a little bit of more of a juicy or citrus element. But yeah, this is a dinger.